Welcome back to the American English Podcast. This is part of our American Culture series, where you not only practice English, but also explore the traditions and habits of life in the U.S. Here's a surprising fact. Over 150 million Americans drink coffee every single day. That adds up to more than 450 million cups of coffee across the country daily. Imagine that. Coffee isn't just a popular drink here, it's one of the most consumed beverages in the nation. So, why is coffee so deeply woven into American life? And how did this simple drink become such a powerful cultural symbol? That's exactly what we'll uncover in today's episode. In the U.S., coffee is far more than a drink. It's part of the culture, the lifestyle, and even the language. Think about expressions like, let's grab a coffee. It's not just about caffeine. It's an invitation to connect, talk, or do business. Coffee shops have become meeting places, creative hubs, and even remote offices. In this episode of our American Culture series, we'll explore how coffee culture evolved in America, from its early history to the rise of modern specialty coffee. Along the way, you'll also pick up authentic English phrases and cultural insights that will make your conversations sound more natural. By the end of this journey, you'll see coffee not only as a beverage, but as a window into American values of individuality, community, and innovation. So, how did coffee go from being a luxury drink to the lifeblood of American mornings? Let's rewind a little. In the early days of America, tea was the preferred drink, inherited from British influence. But after the Boston Tea Party in 1773, tea became politically unpopular, and coffee slowly took its place as the patriotic alternative. That moment planted the seed for coffee's rise in American culture. As waves of immigrants arrived in the 19th and 20th centuries, they brought with them diverse coffee traditions. Italians introduced espresso culture, while immigrants from the Middle East brought their love for strong, spiced brews. Each group added something unique to America's coffee identity. Coffee houses began popping up across cities, serving as gathering places for workers, intellectuals, and communities. Fast forward to the 20th century, the diner culture made coffee the companion to pancakes, burgers, and late-night conversations. Bottomless coffee became a signature American phrase, reflecting abundance and hospitality. But then came the big shift, the rise of specialty coffee. By the late 1970s, Americans started demanding higher quality beans, unique brewing methods, and global flavors. Coffee was no longer just fuel, it became an experience. All of this change wasn't just about taste. It reflected deeper values, individuality, choice, and a desire for connection. Coffee shops turned into spaces where people didn't just drink coffee. They built relationships, discussed ideas, and even worked on big dreams. Now we arrive at the turning points, the moments that completely reshaped coffee culture in America. One of the most influential shifts happened during the 1960s coffee house movement. At that time, coffee houses weren't just about drinking, they were cultural stages. Musicians, poets, and activists gathered in small cafes using coffee as fuel for creativity and social change. These spaces became symbols of free expression and community. But the real game changer came with the rise of Starbucks in the 1990s. Suddenly, coffee was no longer just a quick cup at the diner. It became a lifestyle. Ordering a latte, cappuccino, or frappuccino wasn't just about caffeine. It was about identity, choice, and personalization. The idea of paying $4 or $5 for coffee may have seemed strange at first, but soon it became normal, even aspirational. Starbucks didn't just sell coffee, it sold the third place, a space between home and work where people can relax, connect, or even be productive. Then came the third wave coffee movement in the early 2000s. Small, independent roasters and cafés began emphasizing direct trade, sustainability, and artisanal brewing methods like pour-over or cold brew. This wasn't about mass production. It was about storytelling, knowing where your beans came from, who grew them, and how they were roasted. Coffee became an art form, and customers became more educated and curious than ever. All of this change wasn't just about taste. It reflected deeper values, individuality, choice, and a desire for connection. Coffee shops turned into spaces where people didn't just drink coffee. They built relationships, discussed ideas, and even worked on big dreams. Today, American coffee culture is more diverse and dynamic than ever. Walk into almost any city, and you'll see a mix of big chains, indie cafes, and even mobile coffee trucks, each catering to different lifestyles. But what's truly shaping coffee culture now are trends focused on quality, sustainability, and innovation. More and more, Americans want to know where their coffee comes from. Words like fair trade, organic, and direct trade are no longer niche terms. They're mainstream. People care about the farmers, the environment, and the story behind their morning cup. This shift shows how values like responsibility and global awareness are now deeply connected to coffee culture. At the same time, technology has had a huge influence. Home brewing machines, apps for ordering ahead, and even AI-driven coffee makers are changing the way Americans consume coffee. Instead of waiting in line, you can order a flat white on your phone and pick it up on the way to work. Convenience meets customization. And let's not forget the rise of artisanal practices. Latte art competitions, cold brew innovations, and nitro coffee taps are redefining what it means to grab a coffee. For many Americans, it's no longer just about caffeine. It's about an experience worth sharing, often on social media. In short, coffee has moved beyond just being a drink. It has become a reflection of modern American values, sustainability, creativity, and a desire for connection in a fast-paced world. When we step back and look at the full picture, it's clear that coffee in America is much more than a morning ritual. It's a cultural mirror reflecting history, innovation, diversity, and evolving values. From the rebellious days of the Boston Tea Party to the bustling coffee houses of the 1960s, from the global rise of Starbucks to today's artisanal and sustainable movements, every stage of coffee's journey tells us something about the American spirit. What makes it so unique is how these elements all weave together. Coffee represents community because it brings people together. It represents individuality because everyone can order it their own way. And it represents adaptability because it has constantly changed with the times, from instant coffee in wartime America to nitro cold brew on tap today. For English learners, exploring coffee culture is more than just understanding a drink. It gives you real-world context for idioms like "let's grab a coffee" or expressions like "coffee break." These aren't just words. They carry cultural meaning that make your English feel authentic. So, next time you sip your cup of coffee, think about the history, the values, and the connections behind it. In that moment, you're not just drinking caffeine, you're experiencing a living piece of American culture that continues to grow and evolve every single day. And that wraps up today's episode of the American English Podcast in our American Culture series. We've seen how coffee has shaped and been shaped by American history, values, and everyday life. From the rebellious days of the Boston Tea Party to the artisanal brews of today, coffee has always been more than a drink. It's a story, an identity, and a connection point. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite coffee memory or habit? Do you prefer a simple black coffee, or are you more into lattes, cappuccinos, or maybe even cold brew? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else who's learning English and exploring culture at the same time. And if you enjoyed this journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming episodes on American traditions, food, and lifestyle. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with friends who are also on their English learning journey. Remember, the best way to master English is to live it through culture, and that's exactly what we'll keep doing together here. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.